Welcome everyone to the 209th weekly drawing school.
Woo.
Weekly drawing school. That is what we are.
Weekly. We are the
I
weekly
love how
drawing
you could
school.
just 209 episodes, you still can't nail it.
It's kind of like a trope now, but I'm honestly
Yeah, exactly,
am
that's why I
trying
love
to nail it. Well, as you can hear, we got the ever lioness Alley Claw.
Hello.
What's an ever lioness?
I
It's
I
like
live
level twelve.
forever. I'm the lion in your closet. You know, Narnia. That's
Oh,
me. I'm Jesus. I'm the allegory for Jesus.
so 3 streams from now you're gonna come back?
Yep. I'm just
Okay.
gonna take a little nap.
Well, in fact, one stream from now she will come back, and the one after that.
No, I'm gonna come back for every stream. I'm that much better than the Jesus.
Do I get that in writing?
You'll get that in
I am
proof.
better than Jesus. Call you Ali.
Where's that quote system?
I'm gonna play in card casts.
Oh no.
Next up, we got the Fluffy's eye.
I am fluffing every day. Hello, I don't know what that was.
Every day I'm fluffing and fluffing and boop, 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 boop.
Fluff, fluff.
And there's a Pixanope.
Hello there.
Ah!
It Pixie.
What? Come closer.
I know you're in Australia and it's a long way away, but you don't have to yell from Australia.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I had to.
That's not how mic volumes work.
Alright. So, as always, if you have art that, or if you have, holy cow, if you have things that you have questions about, please question. Submit art, ask questions, do things.
Do
You
things,
know.
stuff. Tell someone that they're great today.
Tell an adult.
Tell an adult. Especially if they had a vote today. Tell them they're great.
Is it, wait, there's a vote going on?
Yeah.
America.
America vote.
Well, it's obviously not for the president, or else it'd be everywhere,
No.
so.
It's the preliminary stuff.
Oh, boring.
Yeah, but still gotta. Voting's important. Rob.
Yes.
Fight the power.
Remember,
Find
everyone,
it by
vote for Derpy.
Yes, do that.
A vote
Shoot.
for Derpy is a vote for muffins.
Say the same thing.
All right, let's get this rolling before we go all the way down the spectrum of muffin types.
Yeah, this could just go bad.
Top
So
left-hand
art.
corner.
Ooh, a cute one to start.
Yeah.
Tootie.
So, heads up, this is an animated image, so you might see a play button. You cannot click that play button, Allie.
Aww, it's not letting me.
I wanted to.
This is by Michu98. And it is art of my OC. Party hat cat smiley face.
Listen, any kind of kitty cat party hat smiley face is a good thing. So.
And they say there isn't anything in particular they like critiqued. So let's just critique everything ever.
So the first thing that pops out to me is that it's utterly adorable. But the second thing is I'm curious, and I wish I could ask you if you were going for more of an anthro pony or a more feral. I'm going with feral. I know people get upset about it, but feral as in the more animal-like version of a pony. Because the way the back and the chest are really reads more anthro to me. Like they're standing up straight with their back straight, kind of like, you know, a human would. If it was more of a pony, the back would actually start to come out the side. You'd have more of like a sloping figure going on. But again, I'm not sure if you were going for more pony stature or more human-like. So that's just a little thing to keep in mind.
So I hear feral and I just imagine foaming at the mouth. So that's foam at the mouth.
I was like, what is he doing?
Now it's clear. Yeah, I always felt like that phrase was always very like violent sounding. It's just a proper term for furry stuff.
Yeah, it's super adorable. And you gotta take a peek at the video because it's just a blink animation, but they've done a good job at like it's like 8 or 9 frames. Looks like.
Yeah,
Sparkles animated?
it's really cute, and it's nicely animated too. I really don't have any critiques about the animation.
Are the
And this
sparkles
is
animated?
yeah.
But
Oh,
no,
of
the sparkles are
I'm
not.
sure.
So you could totally
just the eye.
sparkle the animation. No, animate the sparkles, not sparkle the
Like,
animations.
yeah, the sparkles should just be. They should just be doing like a little shimmer in and outwards. It doesn't need to be like a big thing.
Or even rocking side to side, just like boop 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 boop.
It is nice that they carried the sparkle in the pupils that have just overtaken pupils over to the background. It's nice.
It's a cohesive. It's like a really cohesive theme.
Yeah, and it even follows through in the main. You can see the way the shadows fall is all the sharp edges.
Mm. Yeah. That's all really well done.
So what we're getting at here is good job. Thanks for all the fish.
Cute.
You haven't shared any fish. Well, I still need to share my skittles. So
Ooh, something you can do. You have this like arm fluff here. Why not some chest fluff?
yeah, I was gonna say when I was doing the sort of body shape drawing, I thought we can still have fluffy chest.
And they do. Pixie was just drawing over. They do have a little bit of fluff there, but like I mean, speaking of cohesiveness, you have this bit of fluff. It'll be nice cohesiveness to the drawing if you have the same type of style of thick outline poking out.
That'd be cool.
Not a big fan of the entire arm being separated off of it.
I can agree with that. And the different color. I'm not sure if that's part of the character itself, but because we only see so much of it, it feels very separated.
I wonder if it might be like a wing or something like that.
I was thinking that. I'm not really sure. Because it could be a wing, but yeah, because sometimes people can do wings separate colors, even though they're usually the same color.
All right. I don't got anything else to say on this. How about you folks?
It is
Nope.
cute.
All right, let's move on then.
Colors are great. Keep it up.
Woo.
Next horse.
What a nice pose.
This is by Tracy, the MLP artist. I think they draw ponies.
Oh man.
I like how straightforward they are.
Recently got Reddit. How'd I do on this piece?
Really good.
Cute. Yeah. You got some nice volumes going on here. You know, the pose. It's nice. You have that back leg in. Everyone always struggles with like this guy right
Yes.
here.
So I will. Sorry. I really like the pose. My program is going all over the place with the controls. Don't change my color. I was trying to zoom in. I think this back leg should be a little bit more confident in the lines. In fact, it's something I see in a few places. Like this flow here is a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I typically do with my art, but I feel like some of these lines feel a bit unconfident because they sort of wobble in and outwards, you know? It's just a case of just reducing how much a line changes directions before it reaches its target, is what I'm saying.
Zoom in. Use big motions of your shoulder. Like this one around here. That's a really long, confident line.
Yeah, that's a very good swoosh. No, I think
Zoom in closer to the
cut it up a bit.
swooshes.
I like the
even
separation they've done with the eye here. Like giving a visible separation on the side of the face.
It's a nice touch.
I think I'd just try doing a curve out here as opposed to making it like come in like a butt crack on the side. My only suggestion for that, the only reasoning for that suggestion is because it just makes the entire muzzle look like it's curving into a crater in the middle of the head. And ponies are just like made of Play-Doh. There's no weird curved like hard edges. It's all just smooth bits, and possibly from the floor.
I was doing a little bit of shape variation with bangs, you know, curving down a bit, curving up a bit.
Don't forget the other wing. I know it looks like it should be basically mostly hidden by the tail, but I think we'd be getting a bit of a hint of it just over the back, just the way it's turned, like the way she's falling. I don't know. Yeah, but overall, good picture.
A cutie patootie pony.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to the next
think-
one?
Just,
do
just
that
also
then.
just be a little bit.
Hmm?
I don't know. The position of the ear seems a little bit too far that way. Might position it maybe somewhere further around here or something like that. I don't know.
No, I agree. Like if you follow the plane of the eyes and then you bring it back to the ear, that feels about right. Well, the head, it's like there. I might even. I mean, they are big ears, so yeah.
Yeah. But overall, good. Keep drawing and keep showing us stuff.
Welcome to Reddit.
Welcome to Reddit.
It's a dark place. It's a stupid place. Get rid of the default subreddits, and the experience is much better.
Pony only.
Pony pony.
All right, this one is by Blip Blop Blip Blop.
That's a great name.
Oh, we're being invaded by robots, I see. Okay. They have learned to make art.
I drew the kind of shy horse from the show about talking pastel-colored ponies. I'm pretty sure I messed up on the eyes, but I'm not sure how to fix them. Any suggestions? I love your
Okay, so the
description
first-
of MLP.
Yeah. The first
Oh,
critique
so
that I have is that
cute.
it's like too cute.
Yeah.
So,
You've effectively killed us. We can no longer continue to stream. It's all death by cuteness.
She is too adorable. Look at her chibi face. Just like, this is just protect this pony. That's what his face is saying. Please protect me, and your payment will be in exchange for hugs.
That's a good deal.
it's
It
always
is a good
interesting
deal.
when you have a pony like this because it's like exaggerated proportions on purpose.
Hmm.
It does. The back hip isn't making sense to me because her body seems to be going straight, like woo, and then the
I
hip
almost
is just turned out.
I almost feel like the tail should be going, like the other leg should be going. That's the same color. Should be going behind the tail, if that makes sense. So it's like here's the leg,
Mm.
and the tail just goes in front of it. It's like it's going between the legs, but I don't know. It could work the way you've done it as well. It just feels like it's being sort of turned a bit. In which case, if that's what you want to do, if it'll let me on. No, it won't. There we go. What you can do is do some stuff with your lines to sort of accentuate that like turning. Make the tail nice and swooshy, twisty. Like here's we can see that it's like going out sort of behind her and then around, and she's got such a long tail. So much hair. She's Rapunzel.
She doesn't have hair extensions. No, that's not.
No, she's just Rapunzel.
I wonder how often the creatures she takes care of are just like chews on her hair.
Yeah, probably a lot. My SE should know.
I'm not super familiar with like wing stuff, but it feels like this, rather than being like turned down so much, it should like be facing the camera a bit more
It should
and doing a little
kind
bit
of
of
like
like
this, I think, because it's sort of going into the leg.
a.
So I think it should just come up a little bit, and then it should sort of drop up here.
Yeah.
I remember the joints of the wings sort of going like this. It's like a little tucked up arm.
Yeah, referencing wings on birds and stuff as well.
Yeah, it sounds very daunting, but it's super fun, and there's a lot you can do with looking up wings, wing forms.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I love the little pose drawing out. He's drawing over on the side of the last critique.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh, Ali, you're too good.
No, nothing happened.
All right, shall we move on then?
I was just gonna say this thigh shoulder. I don't know. Is it still a thigh of the front leg? It's still a leg. This part of the shoulder here, I feel like is a bit thick, so I just bring that in a bit so it sort of matches with the belly. And you can have the belly visible now that the wing is. If you do tuck the wing back like this, and you got the belly here, and it goes into the fluff here, and then you got this lovely little chibi leg shape. And also, here we go. Absolutely perfect now. That's all it needed.
Did you see the compliment we got from the...
Aw, I want to call you Stratodraw or Stratodraw?
Stratodraw.
That's it. Stratodraw.
You're the best.
You're awesome. You're the best. You're the best pony commenter ever.
Yeah! Cookies
Thank you
for
very much to
all!
us
You have to pay
specifically.
shipping and delivery.
You're breathtaking.
Alright, next up is a picture from Cake Shake 22, a sketch of Istoria's character Silverlay. Not sure who that person is, but it's an adorable silver horse who's lying down.
Interesting.
You know, this is telling me you have a pretty decent grasp on anatomy. Now, I'm gonna say, hey there, friendo. Why don't you, let's pull it back to even more basic than even anatomy. Let's work on your lines. And I understand sketches can be absolutely messy, but this is, to me, and I could be wrong, and this is, you know, subjective critique here, it's feeling a little too chicken scratchy for me. And chicken scratch are, you know, those short lines like, oh, okay, I gotta go around the body, so I'm gonna draw the same
know what I
line
think
to
it
get the
is?
curve.
I think it's because like sketching messy is fine, and yeah, you're totally right. It's not so much being messy and they're like, okay, I'm gonna work out the tail, yeah, and I'll refine this later. Don't worry, I'm gonna go over it, and then I'm gonna, yeah, okay, oh yeah, so that cool. Now I can go over the messiness that I made already. It does seem a bit more sort of like you aren't experimenting much, just being chicken scratchy, but I do appreciate that you are sort of being messy with your sketching still. What I think it is because this is clearly sort of you've gone quite far for a sketch. You've clearly put some nice like base colors on, which I do as well. I totally do that. Every time we used to have a drawing along, I would sketch and then I would start throwing colors in it. Like, I'm just gonna color the eyes. Oh, you know, now I should do like the main. Oh, it seems weird without the body, you know. And I just start one thing after the next, and I just completely color the sketch. So I understand what you're going for. Which is if you're gonna like put these lovely smooth colors and tones on, it feels like the sketch is very messy in comparison to how smooth the colors look. It's lovely, like highlighting on the body, super nice. So it's just and like clearly your anatomy is very like refined and elegant. Like I love the face, it's super good. So it's just a case of like the sketchiness of the sketch that goes against that, and it's perfectly fine to be messy. It's just there is a time and a place. There is definitely a point where it's worth refining and cleaning that sketch, and I think that point is always before you start putting in colors, even if they are just test colors.
Now I feel like I have to start coloring instead of just sketching all the time.
Give us your art.
It involves effort, though.
Yes, art is suffering.
The fun part is the sketch. Everything else is work.
Zom, that's why it's called painting.
Oh my god, Allie.
You guys.
Alright. We're ready to move on to the next one?
Does anyone else have anything?
It honestly is really cute. Sorry, I just took a sip of my water. It really is. It's good, and I feel like you have a lot of good knowledge in your head. So we're happy to see you with more art and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just pay attention to the front, where the front shoulder connects.
Yes. Good.
And just for me, it feels like sort of the line of action be a little bit more curved around here, create a little bit more like interesting shape. But yeah, feel free to just take it
Something else that can really help with this pose, I know we just said we're gonna finish up, but something else. She's laying down, but you don't have her laying down on anything. She's just laying down in the void, and in order to like work out that anatomy and work out how the positioning would actually work, it's good to have her, interact, even if it's just ground, drawing some ground, or just like a hint of ground, so you can work on getting the anatomy correct instead of just like, oh, she's laying down, but it's the void, so it's not quite like what a laying down pony would do, and that can even like it doesn't need to be much like what Pixie's drawing, little lines and boxes, just simple as that, but
Okay,
that can help
yeah.
you determine things. Oh god, why'd you post
Yeah,
that?
just inventing a plane for the character. So just like draw like a temporary magic carpet, and then they can lay down on that carpet, and then if you want to, you can erase the carpet. But like it will give you something to have them physically laying on to get the pose to work like that.
Yeah.
Unless they are supposed to be floating in a void, and it can be all floaty, like the last pony we looked at, or the one before that one.
All right, shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Mm,
This is cursed Somsom. Cursed.
not the picture we're looking at. Something.
No, not the picture. Sorry, he posted a very cursed image on our Discord. Hey, plug for the Discord. Why don't you join? You can see the cursed image too.
What is this? I don't understand what I'm looking at.
It's
It
a
all-
Furby.
We're
Oh
seeing
my
too much cute art, and this is just like counteracting the cute art.
Mhm.
All right, last picture in our lineup is by Theodic Finch. No, how? Okay,
Spell
let's
it out for us in the chat.
let's do one of those text to speech things. Think, speak. Yeah, no, speech. Change text to speech. Now, how does I make this work?
Oh no.
I don't know, man.
This stream has taken an interesting turn.
Anyway, we got this horse.
It is
Dude.
a horse.
A horse.
It's a horse. It's a horse. Another post by me, the mighty Theodic. Meet Manifest, aka Manny. I know his legs are a little weird, but it's the color scheme I'm struggling with the most. The white markings are the same as the ones I have on my own body, so that's nice and that's why they are there. But how's your new look seem? See, that makes sense because I searched your username to try and get it to speak to me, and a bunch of pictures of that white patchy stuff came up. I'm like, why is this the thing? Now it makes sense.
Oh, I just noticed this thing behind us isn't a wing; it's like a tail coating.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I'm struggling to think of like what the purpose of like how would that come into existence? Having
It's a
a
design
wing
thing.
over the tail.
It's not so much a wing, it's literally like a bird's tail. Like how birds have like
okay,
yeah,
tail feathers.
Yeah.
I see.
So it's combining both.
Yeah,
Right,
I really
okay.
like when artists do it. It's cool.
Same. I think it's a nice touch. I think it adds a little more characteristics to feathered things. So like, sure, the Pegasi have the wings, but nothing else about them's feathered. So it's nice to have that little extra.
Well,
Well, you need
that's
a
not
feather.
true, Allie.
What?
They're brains.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, LD is an expert at brains. He knows.
Yes, he. The reason why they're feathered brained is because Zom eats them and replaces them with feathers.
Well,
There you
Well,
go.
they're feather brain because it's a evolutionary defense against zombies.
Okay.
'Cause then they don't want to eat them because they just get feathers in their mouth. Anyway.
So little
so the
horse.
color scheme.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's working pretty well. I think I'd push it a bit further with the patchiness. Because right now it seems like maybe just a bit of chalk or old age on them. Honestly, I would do big arse blooms of it. And I know this on people shows up in a bunch of different ways. I've seen the only people I know who have that on them, it's actually very large sections of their body. Not sure about you, but I think, bringing it to the forefront of just like big areas of color or white, I guess, lack of color.
Blotches thing.
Yeah, even carrying it down to the
I actually
mane
really
and
like
tail.
I actually
Mm-hmm.
think it looks very interesting.
Kind of reminds me of a painted horse then.
And- Yeah, I can totally see why you wanted to bring it onto your OC. I think that works a lot.
Hmm.
A clever little link.
I reckon you could push the shading a bit.
Yeah, I agree. Because the thing I'm a little confused about, for the wing especially, I'm not sure if you have several different colors of gray, just gradienting out,
I
I think you're
like
right.
or if that
gradiating.
sounds like something a cheese grater would do. Anyway,
I think the term is gradiating.
no. Well, I'm not sure if those are
Anyway.
shadows or color. Um, so I think you could maybe solidify that and have it down to maybe 3 or so shades of gray. Maybe not 50. Uh-huh.
Let me just mute Allie.
No.
LD just gives up on life.
I'm already dead.
But
It's
yeah,
fine.
that might help the design feel more cohesive and consistent. Working with grays and dark colors, when the difficulty there is that sometimes you start to wonder what's a shadow and what's an actual color. So having bold, decisive choices and a limited color palette can usually help push that color design and look sharper and better all for it. You can go out all fancy, but right now the only thing with a lot of gradients in it is the feathers. And that looks really cool, but I know you're struggling with the colors themselves, and I feel like that's taking away from like all the cool splotchy effects you could have, and it
Yeah.
would just make the wings a little bit more readable too, the wings and the tail feathers.
Anyone else?
No, I can think of it. I quite like it.
I'm a little bit interested in like what kind of pose they're trying to, whether they're
Just
like
run.
moving or just standing there, or
I think it's just It's a running.
Okay.
Mhm.
We got this nice like swoosh of the main.
Oh, there's okay. I think
Yeah, there's like head down pose. I can totally see like a horse galloping.
yeah, definitely. I think for poses like running and that sort of stuff, you tend to like something that's good to focus on is a lot of flowy, swishy movement, because when you're running or when horses are running, they're very streamlined. So when you start out sort of your next pose, maybe try like having a more defined line of action and having everything follow it and that sort of stuff. It might push the
Action lines are fun.
pose out there a bit. Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Bring a lot of life to it.
Yeah. But good horse.
Good horse.
Good running horse.
All right. Anyone
Mate,
else have any art they'd like to submit to us? Any other questions they'd like to ask? Any other horse they'd like to horse?
Do you want to quickly show Ali's thing?
Pony.
No, it's fine. Just don't worry about it.
No, do it.
What was your thing?
No, it's fine.
Just a little sketch next to the grey horse.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Oh no.
I think she likes to doodle stuff up the side.
Well, like, I don't know, sometimes I can't leave, like, an example half finished. I'm like, well, if I just add this, well, now it looks weird half like that. What if I just add this? And then
Yes.
I'll finish it.
Also, I like the rainbow dash down there.
Yes.
That was funny.
That's us. That's currently all four of us right there, that picture.
Is the Rainbow Dash just like Fluffy's Eyes plushie?
Probably. She's over here somewhere.
Alright,
I think that's it.
All
I
right.
think that's about it.
So thank you all, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Bye.
Boy.
See yous.